I want you to understand something that the national media is not framing clearly enough. This is not one storm. This is not a bad week of weather. What is happening across the United States right now is a season-long, relentless, multi-front assault on the American heartland. And it is not slowing down. It is accelerating. Let me show you what I mean with real numbers. Numbers that the National Weather Service itself has documented. Numbers that should make every person between the Rockies and the Appalachians stop and pay attention. From January 1st through April 21st, 2026, the National Weather Service issued 838 tornado warning events across 68 weather forecast offices in 4 months. 4 months. That is not a normal number. That is not close to a normal number. And the single office leading every other NWS office in the entire country right now is Chicago. Chicago, not Oklahoma City, not Fort Worth, not Huntsville, Chicago. 61 tornado warning events out of the Chicago forecast area through April 21st alone. The NWS Chicago office has confirmed it officially. By mid-April, they had already issued more tornado and severe thunderstorm warnings than they typically issue through the end of May. They blew past their entire average May total before May even started. And here is the number that stopped me cold when I read their seasonal breakdown. The average number of days with severe weather in the Chicago forecast area from January 1st through April 30th is around 4 days. In 2026, by April 19th, they had already recorded 11 individual severe weather events. 11. Nearly 3 times the historical average. Before April was even over. This is the season we are living through right now, and it is far from finished. Let me walk you through what this season has already produced, because I think most people watching this do not have the full picture. February 19th, Ohio River Valley. An enhanced risk of severe weather. Tornadoes touch down across multiple states. An EF2 in Crawford County, Illinois damages 12 to 15 homes and injures multiple people. That was February. Severe weather in February. April 2nd, Northern Illinois. 13 tornadoes confirmed across Iowa, Illinois, and Indiana in a single event. 70-mile-per-hour winds recorded at Chicago Midway Airport. Quarter-size hail. 3 tornadoes in the NWS Chicago area alone. April 13th, Ottawa, Kansas. A strong EF2 iron tornado impacts southern portions of the city. Another EF2 from the same supercell carves through Miami County. Around 100 structures impacted, 50 significantly damaged. Representative Sharice Davids sends a formal letter to the National Weather Service about missing data caused by skipped weather balloon launches. Tornado watches went out later than usual. People were in danger longer than they should have been. April 14th through April 20th. The upper Midwest absorbs 3 to 5 inches of rainfall across Chicago, Green Bay, Wausau, Lansing, and Detroit in a single week. A daily rainfall record of 43 inches at Chicago O'Hare. 4 to 6 inches near the Wisconsin state line. The Rock River, the Fox River, the Des Plaines. All of them rising, all of them flooding communities that were already exhausted from prior events. April 17th. 12 tornadoes confirmed in the NWS Chicago forecast area in a single day. Hail over 2 inches in diameter. Wind gusts of 60 to 70 miles per hour measured across the region. A state record for Illinois. Hail over 6 inches in diameter. 6 inches falling from the sky, shattering everything it touched. April 23rd. Enid, Oklahoma. A tornado emergency. A violent EF4 tornado with winds estimated at 175 miles per hour carves a damage path 37 miles long. Around 40 homes destroyed or completely flattened. Vance Air Force Base damaged and forced to close. A United States military installation shut down by a tornado, 10 injuries reported. The NWS office in Norman confirmed it as one of the most violent tornadoes of the 2026 season. April 27th, 8 states lose power simultaneously. 260,000 Americans without electricity. Indiana, Michigan, Tennessee, Ohio, Missouri, Kentucky, Illinois, Wisconsin, all hit at the same time by the same system. A man in Kent County, Michigan, killed by a falling tree. Kansas City absorbing 2 inches of rainfall in 6 hours. Water rescues deployed on city streets. April 28th, Mineral Wells, Texas. Tornado damage confirmed. Photographed, documented. And right now, as I record this on May 6th, 2026, the attacks have not stopped. The Storm Prediction Center has a level 2 severe weather threat in effect today covering northeast Texas, including Dallas, eastern Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Large hail, damaging winds. Tornadoes, all considered possible. The SPC notes that the kinematic environment is supporting supercell development with bulk shear values around 60 knots. That is the kind of shear that takes a regular thunderstorm and turns it into a rotating, tornado-capable supercell. Hail of 2 inches or larger is possible in the strongest storms today. A strong tornado is possible if a sustained, discrete supercell develops. The threat shifts south and east on Wednesday. into the Arklatex region, and into Mississippi and Alabama. The same corridor that has already been hit over and over all spring long. And here's the detail that nobody is saying loudly enough right now. The soil across this entire corridor is compromised. Missouri, Tennessee, Arkansas, Kentucky, Illinois, multiple weeks of above-average rainfall, multiple weeks of rivers rising, flooding, receding, and being asked to absorb the next round before the previous round has fully drained. Any heavy rain falling on these watersheds right now is not being absorbed. It is going directly into streams and rivers. Directly. And that is why AccuWeather's forecast team opened this season with a specific and deliberate warning that I want you to hear. They said, and I am paraphrasing directly from their seasonal outlook, do not let your guard down this severe weather season. Flash floods and damaging wind gusts can be just as destructive as tornadoes and often impact a much larger area. That is the official forecast from one of the leading meteorological institutions in the country. Flash floods, just as destructive as tornadoes over a larger area. This is the threat that is being underestimated right now by millions of people who think the worst of this season has already passed. It has not passed. Now, I want to talk about something that has not gotten nearly enough national attention, and it is something that affects the safety of every person in the threat zone who depends on federal weather infrastructure to get their warnings. This spring, something broke in the warning system. When the April 13th tornadoes hit Kansas, tornado watches went out later than they should have. Representative Sharice Davids sent a formal letter to the National Weather Service questioning whether skipped weather balloon launches caused by federal funding cuts contributed to the delayed watches. Weather balloon launches are how the NWS measures the atmosphere above the surface. They tell forecasters what the wind shear is at altitude, what the instability looks like at 5,000 feet, at 10,000 feet, at 20,000 feet. Without those balloon launches, forecasters are working with less data. Less data means less precise forecasts. Less precise forecasts mean watches that go out later. And watches that go out later mean people with less time to prepare. In Michigan, after an earlier spring outbreak produced fatalities, Governor Whitmer called for a formal probe into why a tornado watch was never issued. The question she asked publicly was whether the absence of that watch was connected to funding cutbacks at the National Weather Service under the current administration. That probe is ongoing. I am not here to make this political. I am here to tell you that the warning infrastructure that is supposed to stand between your family and a violent tornado is under strain right now. It is delivering warnings most of the time. But the gaps, when they happen, are gaps that can cost lives. And that means the burden of personal preparedness has never been higher than it is right now in the spring of 2026, because you cannot put all of your trust in a system that is operating under pressure. You need layers, multiple alert methods, a weather app that calls you, a charged phone, a planned shelter location, a family that knows what to do before the warning arrives. Not after, before. Here is the statistical reality of the season you are living through right now. 20 tornadoes had already hit the NWS Chicago forecast area by April 19th. The typical annual total for that office is between 10 and 20 tornadoes for an entire year. They matched their annual average before April was over. 12 tornado-related deaths have been confirmed in the United States in 2026 so far. 12 American families who lost someone. And the peak of severe weather season is right now, May. May is historically the most active month of the year for severe weather in the United States. The season does not peak in April. April is the warm-up. May is when the atmosphere reaches the fullest combination of Gulf moisture, jet stream energy, instability, and wind shear that produces the most organized and the most violent severe weather of any calendar month. And we are entering May after an April that set records. After an April where the Chicago NWS office shattered its warning totals. After an April that produced an EF4 on a military base. After an April that knocked out power across 8 states simultaneously. After an April where 6-inch hail broke state records. After an April where people were rescued by jet ski from flooded city streets. That is the foundation May is being built on. I need every person watching this to do 5 things right now. Today, not this weekend. Today. First, look up the SPC Severe Weather Outlook for your area right now. The Storm Prediction Center updates it daily. It is free. It is public. It tells you exactly what risk level is in effect for your county. Know your risk before the storms arrive, not during, before. Second, make sure your phone will call you, not just buzz, when a tornado warning covers your exact location. A buzz at 3 in the morning will not wake most people. A ring will. Get a weather app that delivers audible alerts for your specific GPS location, not your city, your exact location. Third, know where you are sheltering. Lowest floor, interior room, away from windows. In a site-built home, that is the answer. In a mobile home or manufactured housing, that answer is wrong. Get out of a mobile home during a tornado warning. Every time. The risk of dying in a mobile home from a tornado is 15 to 20 times higher than in a permanent structure. Find a solid structure you can reach, know the address, know how long it takes to get there. Know this before a watch is issued. Fourth, if you're near any body of water, any river, any creek, any drainage channel in the affected corridor right now, watch the water levels actively today and tonight. The ground is compromised across an enormous portion of the central United States. Additional rain is coming. Flash floods can develop in 30 minutes or less on saturated terrain. You need to be watching, not assuming. Watching. Fifth, do not drive through water on a road. I will keep saying this until people internalize it. This season has already produced flooding in Kansas City, in San Antonio, in the Ohio Valley, and across the Tennessee corridor. Floodwater on a road looks like a wet road until your car starts floating. Turn around. Every single time. No exceptions? For no reason. Turn around. And before you do anything else right now, share this video. There are people in Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, and Tennessee who are about to enter a new round of severe weather risk today and tomorrow, who are not tracking this, who think April's worst is behind them, who have not checked the SPC outlook for today, who are going to sleep tonight without a charged phone and a planned shelter location. You watching this and sharing this is not a small thing. It is the difference between information reaching those people and not reaching them. 838 tornado warnings in 4 months, a record that has never been set before April 21st in United States history. 20 tornadoes in Chicago's forecast area before April was over. An EF4 on a military base. 8 states losing power in a single afternoon. And May just started. America is not under attack from one storm. America is under attack from a season that is not finished. Not even close. Stay ready. Stay charged. Stay watching. I will be right here with every update as this week's threat develops. Stay safe out there. I mean that with everything I have got.